I'm just gonna start with doing some leveling here. And some tactics. I haven't looked at Bryony's tactics in a while because she's the one that I use. So the AI is almost never controlling her. But you never know.
What now?
Hi, Liliana. She still does not have enough tactics slots for what I want for her. So her modes are just... I'm gonna turn her Song of Valor and her aim modes just
Back
on.
again?
Morrigan has a level up. Gonna give her, let's see, 24 magic. Actually, you know what? 26 magic. Let's go all the way up. Let's put all 3 points in there. Picking magic talents is always the worst. So I have available the 2nd rank in Shapeshifter, which is Bear Shape. But I'm really not using her, like, her function really is as a mage, not as a physical attacker. I can give her the 2nd rank in Mage talent, which is Arcane Shield, which just gives her a bonus to a defense, which is good and is required if I want the other 2 mage talents. You know what? Yeah, I'll take that so that I can get the level 7 and 10 ones later. Let's see. Dog. Tactics are still dog. Good dog. I'm going to set him to always attack whoever Alistair is attacking. So that Dog and Alistair, if they're in the party together, will always attack at the same time. And I'll have to change that if I end up using a different frontline warrior. How am I on equipment? I have a lot of health poultices. I'll just go ahead and put those on everyone's quick bar. For Morrigan, I'll also put lyrium potions on her quick bar, although they are in her tactics, so she should be using them automatically. I have a bunch of poisons that I should start using as Bryony. I guess Liliana could also use one of these.
What is it?
What is it? I'm going to have her use the Deathroot extract during the battle. That will be a... I don't know how long it lasts. The tooltip doesn't say. It just says they deal +2 nature damage and has a 10% chance for stun. Which is good. I'll also give her the fire arrows that I have 24 of, rather. Alright, let's go ahead and get started for real. Welcome back to Dragon Age. We are in Redcliffe. We made it here after leaving Lothering behind, going on the road. We have currently 4 of our 5 party members with us. well, not counting Bryony, 3 of our 4. Alistair is here, Liliana is here, Morgan is here, and our dog Pebble is here, as always. We are just about to tell Murdoch, the mayor of Redcliffe, that we are ready to wait until sundown to help him defend Redcliffe from an undead attack that has been coming out of Castle Redcliffe every night, which is where the family and staff, etc., of Arl Eamon, the man that we are trying to reach, is. So, we have to defend this town first if we want to get to him. We've done all the preparations. We had to... Well, we didn't have to, but we did for the sake of improving, morale. We got the town blacksmith back at his forge. Owen, whose daughter works in the castle, so he was refusing to work until somebody promised that they would go rescue her, which we have now promised. We got holy symbols for the Redcliffe Knights. Sir Perth wanted some sort of divine protection, and, well, they have amulets now. We found some, I think it was lamp oil, in the general store, which is shut down. And we've brought that to the knights, or at least informed them of it to make a fire trap. What else did we do? I think that's all. There was... Oh, and we found, for a woman in the Chantry, by the name of Caitlin, we went to her house and found her brother, who was hiding in a cupboard, who she thought had run off. The one thing that we didn't do that we could have is recruit a dwarven merchant by the name of Dwin, who lives in town but has barricaded himself in his house with his guards. We reached the point where knocking on the door wasn't doing anything. We tried picking the lock, that didn't do anything. So the last recourse left to us was kicking in the door, and I did not feel like doing that just for one guy. So, we have left him to his own devices. And I think we're ready for nightfall.
The repairs are underway surprisingly quickly, considering how drunk Owen is. We may just make it.
How is morale?
Morale's about what you'd expect. These men aren't soldiers. They're villagers defending their homes, and they're frightened. Since you convinced Owen to start repairs, we're pretty well armed now. That is a relief, let me tell you. We're better off now that we've sufficient arms. I don't know that we're ready for the battle, really, but were we ever? Is there anything else?
I am ready to make my stand. Let's wait for sundown.
Are you sure? There's still time left if you need to talk with Sir Perth or do anything else.
No, I'm ready now.
Then good luck to you. You'll need it.
All right. We will indeed. Although we're still on normal difficulty setting, I might need to bump it up to hard later in this campaign. Alright, we're seeing Redcliffe at night. Dark purple sky. Villagers with bows waiting nervously. And a green fog starts coming down. People start running to their defensive
Get to your
positions.
Make ready!
Green fog crosses the bridge from the castle to this side of the valley, towards the windmill where the knights will be stationed, and where we are stationed.
Know that we fight for the Maker and our art. Light the traps. Burn these foul creatures.
Alright, so combat has begun. We have Sir Perth and 4 knights, it looks like, as well as us, positioned by the windmill. The zombies are coming down the path from the upper part of the valley sort of starting to descend towards the town, and they've set up a few barricades, which I believe they're about to light on fire. Yeah. So for this part, it's going to be a management of myself, Alistair, and my dog as frontline fighters so that we don't actually run into the fire. Because the fire and the ranged attackers might end up taking out much of the approaching corpses. Yeah, so between the fire and a couple of bow shots, the first corpse to run through is down by half.
Weapons at the ready!
I've set everyone in the party to only move when directed, so hopefully they won't run into the fire.
Try not to look too incompetent. You can get embarrassing. Come and get
They're really coming through like one at a time.
Here comes trouble. Oh, this shit. Let's get started. That's one for me! Now we try. The battle is finished.
Alright, that was the first wave. The second wave is coming.
Costly and you shall pay! Let's end
First one is brought down before it even gets through the fire.
Let's make this quick!
Liliana's just leveled up.
You should run
So is
like
Alistair.
Make a preserve us. Be careful! Brilliant!
Alright, that was it for the
The
second wave.
monsters are attacking from the lake! They're attacking the barricades! We need help!
Alright, so 2 waves up here, and now we've got a villager from the town center saying they need help down there. Alright, knights, stay here and guard the path.
Come on! We need to hurry!
So we are to run. This guy with a quest marker is running down the hill, and we are to follow. All of the zombie bodies up here have gone. I'm gonna quick level Alistair and Liliana before we go down, since we're out of combat for a moment. Alright, Alistair, strength 26, dexterity 22. New talent. Warrior, sustained mode threaten to increase, to draw aggro. He doesn't have a tactic slot available for that, so I'm just going to activate it. Liliana, dexterity. I'm just going to take her dexterity up to 26. And talent. There's not really a good one available for her. Well, the only thing really available for Liliana right now is the sustained mode suppressing fire, which gives penalties to attack and defense on every shot. Archers really get a ton of sustained modes. And I've just realized I didn't use the poisons for either myself or Liliana. Once I get down to the bottom of the hill, I'll do that. Alright, crossing the waterfall. This militiaman is taking a very erratic path. His pathfinding AI must not be very good. Alright, poison for me. Poison for Liliana. Everyone attack! So there's about, let's say, 7 to 8 militia members, including Tomas, the man we met as we arrived. Murdoch is here. The elf Berwick was supposed to be down here too. I don't see somebody with his name. Maybe he's elsewhere.
Show me what you got.
Right now, everyone's fighting from within the sort of within the Chantry courtyard. A small barricade they set up.
Less fighting, more dying, blast you!
Which really isn't the point of a barricade. You're really supposed to keep them outside it.
I do. Stay still. No mercy.
Alright, Alistair and Pebble have now moved to outside the front lines. They are fighting outside the barricade. That's good.
A little frantic. Ha! I can see why.
Yeah, we've now moved the line of scrimmage, so to speak, outside the barricade.
You're mine. Violence. Wipe them out.
Sorry, you forever.
Come now, defend yourself. Here we go. Show me what you've got.
I just saw Morgan use a lyrium potion, so it's good to know that that tactic should have
Oh, this should be time for some fun.
This really is more of a tower defense battle than a... Like, none of us are having to manage our health.
Let's get started. Only one shall stand.
Somebody used a smoke bomb. Oh, smoke. Field of view.
It is an ugly
Let's have at it!
It's your time to die.
Let's do this quickly!
Let's make this quick, shall we? Make a result.
That's what
Stay
you want!
still.
Although a couple of the militia members are pretty low on health.
As you wish.
But that's, you know, I guess that's expected, because they're just like guys.
This should be
Another point.
Alright, I think that was it. We have cut to a loading screen. I didn't say it because I didn't want to jinx it, but there is a persistent bug in this game where sometimes when you finish the Redcliffe battle, it just doesn't end. Like, you're still in that courtyard with the battle music playing, but no more corpses are coming. So thankfully that didn't happen here.
Dawn arrives, and we survived the night. We are victorious. And though this victory came at great cost, we must remember none of us would be here were it not for the heroism of these good folk beside me. I thank you, dear lady. Truly the Maker smiled on us when he sent you here in our darkest hour.
Ben Tegan is giving a speech from the steps of the Chantry with the entire village gathered around, and we're standing beside him. There's still much more to do, Tegan.
Surely these people deserve some small celebration, don't you think? There is time yet.
Let us bow our heads and give honor to those who gave their lives in defense of Redcliffe. Now they walk with he who is their maker. Long may they know the peace of his love.
With the Maker's favor, the blow we delivered today is enough for me to enter the castle and seek out your Arl. Be wary and watch for signs of renewed attack. We shall return with news as soon as we are able. Now, we've no time to waste. Meet me at the mill. We can talk further there.
Alright, and people have dispersed. Quest updated. So we have successfully defended Redcliffe, at least from that attack. Meet at the mill is the new quest. Ban Tegan has a plan for getting into the castle. Alright. I don't know if there's anything we need to check on. Let's check in with Murdoch real quick.
I'm still amazed we made it through the night in one piece and won. They'll be telling stories about this for years, I bet. Fighting's not over. We still have Darkspawn to battle, and if the Arl sends out the call, I'll be there for him.
That's a commendable attitude.
If you'll excuse me, I think I'll offer the Maker a bit of thanks for not choosing to be a wrathful god today. Good luck to you.
Okay, so he's walked off now, actually. Alright, let's head up the hill. Oh, we were supposed to, before we go check in with Tegan, we need to go to the tavern. Because the server Bella, we promised to sort of give her enough money to leave Redcliffe after the battle. Let's see if she's still around. Yep, there she is.
I admit, for a while, I didn't think either of us would survive. It's good to see you did.
It's good to see you too.
Anything I can get you?
Well, I believe I made you a promise.
You mean about helping me leave? I wouldn't hold you to that. You've already done so much for us.
Nonsense, I want to help.
What do you have in mind?
Alright, I can offer her 100 silver, so that's 1 gold. Or 500 silver, that's 5 gold. I can ask her to come with me. I don't think... You know, I have a suspicion she wouldn't agree to that. The Grey Warden lifestyle is a little too rough. Let me offer her 5 gold. 500 silver should be enough to start a new life.
What? You jest, surely. Why not simply throw all our coin into the river?
I can either say it's my coin, not our coin, or persuade her that we can afford it, because we can afford it very much. We can afford this much.
Oh, have it your way, then.
That could get me to Denerim. What would you want in return for such a gift?
I can either say your thanks is enough, or a promise not to work in a place like this. Now, working in a tavern is not, in itself, a bad thing. Working for a dipshit is the problem. So I'll just say your thanks is enough.
Thank you. I can never repay this, but I'll think of a way. I swear.
Morrigan disapproves -3, Alistair approves +1. How much gold do I have now? Oh, less than 1. Alright. So we do actually need to make some money. Hi Lloyd. How are you?
If it isn't the hero of the day, what can I get you?
Oh.
Right then.
Just his store. Alright. No need to look at that.
Right.
Alright, let's head back out. There's a couple kids running around. It's nice to see the sort of...
Let me ask you this then, Morrigan. What if there really was a maker?
Then I would wonder why he has abandoned his creation. It seems terribly irresponsible of him.
He left us because we were determined to make our own way, even if we hurt ourselves. And he could not bear to watch.
But how do you know? You cannot ask him this. Perhaps he has gone to a new creation elsewhere and abandoned this as a dismal failure best forgotten.
I do not need to know, because I have faith. I believe in him and feel his hope and his love.
Faith. How quickly those who have no answers invoke that word.
How can someone who practices magic have so little capacity to believe in that which he cannot see?
Magic is real. I can touch it and command it, and I need no faith for it to fill me up inside. If you were looking for your higher power, there it is.
But only if you can control it. I do not envy the loneliness you must feel at times, Morrigan.
Leave me be. Loneliness would be preferred to this endless chatter.
So Morgan and Liliana are back on their religion debate, which thankfully I do not have to weigh in on. Oh, we can check in with Sir Perth as well.
It is sad to think of how much death there has been here. But we have saved the village beyond all expectations. You have done well, my friend. I will remain here to guard the village and receive any fellow knights as they continue to return. At least until the castle is retaken.
Okay. So he and his knights will still be here. And here's Tegan.
Odd how quiet the castle looks from here. You would think there was nobody inside at all. But I shouldn't delay things further. I had a plan. To enter the castle after the village was secure. There is a secret passage here, in the mill, accessible only to my family.
Ah, of course. That's convenient.
Perhaps I should have gone into the castle earlier, but I could not leave the villagers. Maker's breath.
There's a woman and a guard running down from the hill.
Tegan, thank the Maker you yet live.
Isolde, you're alive. How did you... What has happened?
I do not have much time to explain. I slipped away from the castle as soon as I saw the battle was over, and I must return quickly. And I need you to return with me, Tegan. Alone.
Isolde is a fair-skinned, middle-aged woman with dark brown hair pulled up in a bun. She's wearing a purple dress with a pink blouse and sort of dark red skirt. And the knight with her is extremely generic. Why don't we all go to the castle?
What? Who is this woman, Tegan?
You remember me, Lady Isolde, don't you?
Alistair. Of all the... Why are you here?
They are Grey Wardens, Isolde. I owe them my life.
Pardon me, I would exchange pleasantries, but... considering the circumstances...
Please, Lady Isolde, we had no idea anyone was even alive within the castle. We must have some answers.
I know you need more of an explanation, but I don't know what is safe to tell. Tegan, there is a terrible evil within the castle. The dead waken and haunt the living. The maid responsible was caught, but still it continues. And I think Connor is going mad. We have survived, but he won't flee the castle. He has seen so much death. You must help him, Tegan. You are his uncle. You could reason with him. I do not know what else to do.
What about Arl Eamon? Is he still alive?
He is. He is being kept alive so far, thank the Maker.
Kept alive? Kept alive by what?
Something the mage unleashed. So far it allows Eamon, Connor, and myself to live. The others were not so fortunate. It killed so many, and turned their bodies into walking nightmares. Once it was done with the castle, it struck the village. It wants us to live, but I do not know why. It allowed me to come for you, Tegan, because I begged, because I said Connor needed help.
So, why must Tegan go alone?
For Connor's sake. I promised I would return quickly and only with Tegan. Tegan, I know you could order your men to follow me when I return to the castle. I beg you not to. For Connor's sake.
Do you think this evil could be some kind of demon?
I do not know. Oh, Maker's mercy. Could it truly be a demon? I can't let it hurt my Connor. You must come back with me, Tegan. Please.
Alright, tell me about this mage you mentioned.
He is an infiltrator, I think. One of the castle staff. We discovered he was poisoning my husband. That is why Eamon fell ill.
Eamon was poisoned?
He claims an agent of Terran Logain's hired him. He may be lying, however. I cannot say.
Alright, so at this point I can either accuse her of not telling the whole truth, or just move on. Yeah, let's just move on. Enough questions. We need to decide what to do.
The king is dead, and we need my brother now more than ever. I will return to the castle with you, Isolde.
Thank the Maker. Bless you, Tegan. Bless you.
It seems you have little choice.
I have no illusions of dealing with this evil alone. You, on the other hand, have proven quite formidable. Isolde, can you excuse us for a moment? We must confer in private before I return to the castle with you.
Please do not take too long. I will be by the bridge.
Alright, she and her guard are leaving.
Here's what I propose. I go in with Isolde, and you enter the castle using the secret passage. My signet ring unlocks the door. Perhaps I will distract whatever evil is inside and increase your chances of getting in unnoticed. What do you say?
What, and that's it? It's all up to me?
Sir Perth and his men can watch for danger at the castle entrance. If you can open the gates from within, they can move in and help you. I don't think there's anyone else who can help you. If you choose not to go, then it's up to me to do what I can. Here is my signet ring. It will open the lock on the door in the mill. Whatever you do, Eamon is the priority here. If you have to, just get him out of there. Isolde, me, and anyone else, we are expendable.
There's a wide variety of reactions to that statement. I don't believe that. I will rescue you all, I promise.
You're a good woman. The Maker smiled on me indeed when he sent you to Redcliffe.
So we are just going to send him with that woman? It seems so dangerous.
But I can delay no longer. Allow me to bid you farewell. And good luck.
Alright, received signet ring. At this point, I believe... yeah, I'm going to switch out Liliana for Sten at this point. Because I believe a second warrior will actually be more useful in the...
Blood and damnation.
Yes.
In the environment of fighting within a building than a long-range archer.
Be cautious.
He's also ready to level up, so we must have passed some levels, so he's along with us. Oh no, that's the talent point I never spent on him. Alright. I've just adjusted his equipment a little bit, but he still doesn't have enough strength, I think, is the attribute that's restricting that talent. But he's with us now. So, let us head into the mill. Let me save. I haven't saved since the battle. Infiltration time. And, alright, sure enough, behind the grindstone in the mill is a hatch covered in straw. Secret passage. AKA loading screen between areas. No actual passageway navigation. loading screen says, the Fade is a dream realm where the spirits of all beings except dwarves go when they sleep. Only mages remain conscious once there, but others can awaken if they are trapped there unwillingly. Alright, and we seem to be we're in the basement of Redcliffe Castle. Very dismal stonework, lots of cobwebs, a table and chairs that are tipped over.
This is a trap. The defenders of this castle are idiots. I suspect both.
And we have some tactical advice. Sten, by the way, now that we have him and Alistair both in the party, is about 6 to 8 inches taller than Alistair, who is a, tall human man. Alistair is about 3 or 4 inches taller than Morrigan, a human woman who is about 4 to 6 inches taller than me, an elf. And then there's my dog. Alright, so this part of the basement is just a hallway, but on the other side of a door, that looks like there's, according to the minimap, there's yet more hallway and some corpses. Oh, this is the dungeon part of the basement. I hear somebody yelling from a cell. 3 corpses.
Hello? Who's there? Is there anyone alive out there? Wait, you don't look like the Arlessa's guards. Are you from outside the castle?
Through the bars of the cell, the person that was yelling is a human man with short dark hair, wearing a yellow silk shirt. Possibly. Who are you supposed to be?
My name is Jowan. I'm a mage Lady Isolde hired to tutor her son Connor. Until they, threw me into the dungeon here.
Oh, so you're the one who poisoned the Arl.
I'm not proud of it. The Arlessa had no idea what I was hired to do when she took me in to tutor Connor. I know it looks suspicious, but I'm not responsible for the creatures and the killings in the castle. I was already imprisoned when all that began. At first, Lady Isolde came here with her men, demanding that I reverse what I'd done. I thought she meant my poisoning of the Arl. That's the first I heard about the walking corpses. She thought I'd summoned a demon to torment her family and destroy Redcliffe. She had me tortured. There was nothing I could do or say that would appease her. So they left me to rot.
His clothes and face are covered in varying levels of dried blood. Why did the Arlessa hire you to tutor her son?
Lady Isolde was looking for a mage to tutor Connor secretly. Teyrn Loghain found out and he sent me. I was to use the opportunity to poison the Arl. I was told that Arl Eamon was a threat to Ferelden, that if I dealt with him, Loghain would settle matters with the Circle. You see, I'm a Maleficar, a blood mage.
You? A blood mage? Truly? I would never have guessed.
A blood mage? Well, that isn't good.
I dabbled in the forbidden arts, and they condemned me to death for it. I thought Loghain was giving me a chance to redeem myself. But he's abandoned me here, hasn't he? Everything's fallen apart, and I'm responsible! I have to make it right somehow. I have to!
So, Teyrn Loghain himself hired you?
Yes. When the Templars caught me, they brought me to Denerim to await execution. Eventually, someone came to see me, alone. It was the Terran. I'd seen paintings of him, so I knew. I thought he'd have me executed right there. But he said I could make up for my crime. He said I would be helping the country.
I like that bit about the paintings. That's a good detail. It turns out people didn't really know what each other looked like back in the day. Or in the fantasy day, I guess. Why is Arl Eamon a threat, exactly?
He only said that Arl Eamon was dangerous to the nation. Why wouldn't I believe Teyrn Loghain?
And why did the Arlessa need a mage to tutor her son?
Connor had started to show signs. Lady Isolde was terrified the Circle of Magi would take him away for training.
Connor? A mage? I can't believe it.
She sought an apostate, a mage outside the circle, to teach her son in secret so he could learn to hide his talent. Her husband had no idea.
Why would Isolde be frightened of her son becoming a mage?
Because he would be taken away forever. A mage cannot inherit a title, even the son of a powerful Arl. She's also a pious woman. Her son having magic was humiliating.
How much magic did you teach Connor?
Some, but he's still very young. He can barely cast a minor spell, never mind something more powerful. At least not intentionally. I have thought about it, and it's possible Connor could have inadvertently done something to tear open the veil. With the veil to the Fade torn, spirits and demons could infiltrate the castle. Powerful ones could kill and create those walking corpses.
And Arl Eamon had no idea of his son's abilities?
No, she was adamant that he never find out. She said that he'd do the right thing, even if it meant losing their son, and that infuriated her.
I see. I think I understand.
I never meant for it to end like this. I swear. Let me help you fix this.
I say kill the mage. He cannot be trusted.
He doesn't need to die, surely.
I say this boy could still be of use to us, but if not, then let him go. Why keep him prisoner here?
Hey, let's not forget he's a blood mage. You can't just set a blood mage free.
Better to slay him. Better to punish him for his choices. Is this Alistair who speaks, or the Templar?
I'd say it's common sense. We don't even know the whole story yet.
Give me a chance, please.
That was quite a debate there. So how will you make things right?
I'd try to save anyone still up there. There must be something I can do.
Isn't it a little late for that?
I don't think it will redeem me, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't try.
Well, that's commendable if it's true.
I'm glad you think so. So what now?
Okay. So either I kill him, or I let him out, or I just leave him in the cell. I'm not jazzed about letting him out. I think Bryony doesn't know enough about blood magic to really judge whether it's dangerous to that extent or not. And like, this guy did sort of kick off this whole thing. So I think you'll stay in your cell for now.
Then I will wait. If you change your mind, I will be here.
And we have a codex on blood magic. Actually, that'll be useful. We also have a codex on apostates. Blood magic, the forbidden school. Quote, "Foul and corrupt are you, who have taken my gift and turned it against my children." Transfigurations 18:10. The ancient Tevinters did not originally consider blood magic a school of its own. Rather, they saw it as a means to achieve greater power in any school of magic. The name, of course, refers to the fact that magic of this type uses life, specifically in the form of blood, instead of mana. It was common practice at one time for a magister to keep a number of slaves on hand so that, should he undertake the working of a spell that was physically beyond his abilities, he could use the blood of his slaves to bolster the casting. Over time, however, the Imperium discovered types of spells that could only be worked by blood. Although lyrium will allow a mage to send his conscious mind into the Fade, blood would allow him to find the sleeping minds of others, view their dreams, and even influence or dominate their thoughts. Just as treacherous, blood magic allows the veil to be opened completely, so that demons may physically pass through it into our world. The rise of the Chant of Light and the subsequent fall of the Old Imperium has led to blood magic being all but stamped out, as it should be, for it poses nearly as great a danger to those who would practice it as to the world at large. From The Four Schools, a treatise by First Enchanter Josephus. Okay, yeah, so that is some serious stuff. Didn't get a chance to loot these corpses. Corpse gall, a malformed organ cut from the gut of a reanimated horror. Well, I don't know why I'm collecting this, but now I have 3 of them. I'm just gonna check that there's nothing else in these cells. Nope, just Jowan. There are 6 cells along this hallway. Only his is occupied. And then through the other end are 3 sort of open cells, more like open rooms, no bars. There's a health poultice in a pile of filth, gross. A note on the floor. Codex, a rolled up note. I hope whoever finds this can read it. I hate the thought that my last words might be used as kindling or maker forbid to wipe someone's bum, but that's happenstance for you, I suppose. My name is Brannon. I was born in Rainsphere. I grew apples once upon a time. When the Orlesians came to demand I bow to their emperor, I turned them away. They set fire to my orchards, to my house, too, but I didn't care. I stood and watched them burn. Trees die eventually, houses fall, but my honor can be lost only if I let it. They came back a week later and demanded that I swear an oath. This time, when I refused, they clapped me in irons. Now I'm here, and I'll die in this place. Seems a foolish thing to die for, doesn't it? I could have said a few words and rebuilt my home, gone on with my life as if nothing had changed. 100 generations of my family have lived and died on that land, and I won't be the one to trade our family honor for apples. Whoever you are, whatever they brought you here for, if you leave this place, I hope you'll go to Rainsphere. There's no living remnant of us left there, but you'll find my family all the same. We're stamped onto the earth. We're in the wind that rustles the trees. Tell my family how I died, and I promise you they'll hear. Signed, Brannon. Well, that's very sweet. It's in the quest-related portion of my journal, but I don't think I can go to Rainsphere. Maybe at one point I was supposed to be able to. Uh-oh. Some corpses are standing up from the ground. There were 5.
Here we go!
Hey, that was a death blow. That was not a decapitation. It was just a couple of very fancy swipes.
Lost me and you shall pay!
Lesser health poultice. 4 silver, 32 copper. And a gray iron longsword in a pile of bones. And we have the stairs to the main floor. That's it for the basement, I guess. Or at least this portion. We've come out into a round sort of receiving room, or yeah, really just a blank room. There's a small skylight window at one end, but otherwise just a sort of octagonal stone room. And out the door,
this should be easy enough,
is a hallway. It is a right angle hallway. I see, because of my survival skill, or somebody in the party's survival skill, I can see enemies on the map before I actually approach them. Let's get started. And I could see that there was a guard in the hallway.
Here we go!
Let's grab some glory!
Oh, a bunch of guards actually. They're coming out of a nearby room. And by guard, I mean patrolling zombie. Everything is zombies.
Take that! Begin the onslaught! Come, you can do better than that! On your guard! Move, Harry! Strike and kill!
Sten just did a death blow that with his greatsword that was like almost like swinging a baseball bat, sort of picking the corpse up into the air with it on the final swing. Alright, 2 silver, 2.5 silver, 1.5 silver, and a lesser lyrium potion. Alright, now let me loot all these rooms. So, this hallway goes at a right angle around a large open room to the right. But to the left, there's another round room. Oh, that I had to unlock. It is an armory. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is a jackpot. There are three lootable weapon stands, 2 chests, and an armor stand. Don't mind if I do.
As you wish.
Weapon stand, tier 2 longsword.
Right.
Armor stand. Ooh, full set of tier 4 heavy armor. Can Sten wear this? He can wear the chest piece, the boots, and the gloves, but not the helmet. Somehow he... the other 3 pieces require 26 strength, but the helmet requires 30 strength, so we can't put it on yet. You'll get there, buddy. A Brotherhood longsword as well, and 17 fire arrows. A tier 3 longbow. Oh, my inventory's full. Okay. I'm gonna throw away my warmth balm and a life... Actually, I wonder if I can use some of these crafting reagents to stack up with stuff I already have.
Here.
If you must.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to use Morrigan's herbalism skill. No, that is not worth it. I was going to say I would use up my 11 flasks, but that would only get 1 inventory space full. So instead, I'm just going to toss a tier 2 dagger, which is useless, and a tier 2 mace. For a tier 4 Redcliffe shield and a tier 4 regular helmet. Actually, Sten I think can wear that one. Yeah, that only requires 26 instead of 30. So now he's all equipped in tier 4. Look at you go. And another Redcliffe shield and some ice arrows in the last chest. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to throw away this life stone and throw away these frozen lightnings. Because I'm not ready to do crafting yet. Okay. Are either of these shields better than what Alistair has? Yes, the Brotherhood shield is tier 4 and is better overall, because it does have some modifiers, +6 defense, +2 armor, than Harvard's Aegis, which is what he had. Sorry, Havard, not Harvard. So now he's wearing Redcliffe heraldry, which is a gray background with a sun and 2 swords crossed above it. Alright, so I looted the armory. Not what I was here for, but it worked out. The room that all of the undead ran out of looks to be a pass, like it opens on the other side into a further room. So I won't go in there. Instead, I'm going to look at the big, the hall that this corridor was a right angle around. And in there are not zombies, but 3 lesser shades and a greater shade. These are spirits, not undead, which is worrisome.
Shall we?
Oh, one of them just knocked me down. But taking it down gave Morgan a blow. Woo! The greater shade dropped some loot. It dropped a greater lyrium potion. Good. Alright, Morgan.
What now?
Level up. 28 magic. 21 willpower. And I can either give her level 2 survival, so better sensing of creatures, level 3 herbalism, or level 3 combat tactics. I think we're gonna go with survival, because knowing where things are before you encounter them is actually very useful. And now I'll give her the 3rd rank mage talent, which is staff focus, and a passive 33% damage bonus to her basic staff attacks whenever she is not using an active skill. This hall doesn't appear to have any furniture in it, just some benches along the sides. It does have a pedestal with a book on it near the far end at a fireplace. What's in the book? Codex, History of the Chantry, Chapter 2. Alright, we'll have to read that eventually. Now let's go back out and through this room. This room is sort of a living space. It's got a nice big fireplace, a couple of benches opposing each other with some books out, a couple of chairs around a table with a chessboard, and past it is a room with a bunch of zombies. Let's get started. 5 of them. Nope, wait, did I miscount? I think some may have come in from the adjacent room.
Let's get started.
Yeah, I think we ended up with about 7 there. Still looting corpse skull. Whatever the heck that is.
On it.
I mean, I know what it is. I'm looting their organs out of their bodies. I just don't know why I want it. It's going into my quest items folder, which is concerning. Alright, this is a barracks room. There are 6 bunk beds, so 12 beds and a bunch of armoires. To the left...
Trap.
Oh, I've seen a trap in a hallway ahead. There's a tripwire. So that's ahead. To the left is a small sort of airlock chamber with a room past it. Oh, this is a dog kennel. I have to fight the dogs. There are 5 Mabari in here that I have to fight. Sorry, puppies.
Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance? Here we go!
Right then.
Let's get started. You will learn to fear me.
And that leveled me up. Alright. Dexterity 28. Strength 15. And I'm going to go with the talent Riposte. Strikes at a target with the offhand weapon, dealing normal damage and stunning, then striking with the other weapon, generating 150% damage if the target was stunned. If I'm in a backstab position, they cannot resist the stun effect. I'll have to remember to try and use that in stun as much as possible. From the Mabari, I'm looting... Gosh. I'm gonna give myself a second weapon set, because I can do that, and just put a bow and some arrows in my secondary weapon set to get them out of my inventory. Alright, from one of these dogs, I get a black leather collar and a lyrium potion. What is my dog wearing? He's wearing a studded braid, 2 constitution. I've looted +1 armor penetration, +2 armor. Okay, armor directly reduces defense. Constitution is health. So I think I'm gonna go with the new one for the armor. And then there's a charred corpse on the floor.
Let's get started.
With a green stone. That's a type of stone, not just its color. And a chest with 2 war paints and a lamb bone. Well, I'm gonna toss the green stone. And toss a pair of scale gloves that are unmatched. And a pair of scale boots that are tier 1. Oh, and Sten's old clothing. I can toss that. Alright. So that was it on that side. Now we go into the hallway, where I've seen a trap.
This should be easy enough.
I'm gonna disarm that for 30 XP. There's a small storage room on the side with 2 cabinets. One has a frozen lightning, and one has a silver ring. Neither of those are useful to me. Let's see, is there anything else in this hallway? I see that in a room to my right, I'm about to encounter some zombies.
This should be easy enough.
It is done.
That was easy. That was 3 of them.
As it did.
Further down the hallway, there's also 2 more individual rooms on the left. This one has 2 corpses in it.
Let's get started.
It's very funny. Me and Alistair and Sten and the dog all trying to cram in the same doorway. Didn't work out very well. 2.5 silver. 2.5 silver. And an armoire with a mushroom in it. A late night snack. This appears to be a bedroom. It's a pretty small room. With a double bed, a bookshelf. Is that a bowl of fruit on the table? I can't tell if it's a bowl of fruit or a sewing basket. And that armoire. At the end of the hall is another small room. Oh, this has a person in it. This is Velena.
Please, don't hurt me.
She's a young woman with 2 blonde braids down the sides of her head. Calm down. I'm not gonna hurt you.
I'm sorry. I'm so frightened. These monsters are everywhere. My name's Velena. The Arlessa's maid. Is she all right? What happened to everyone?
Velena, are you the Smith's daughter?
You know my father. I want to go back to the village. Is there a way out of here?
There's a tunnel leading out in the dungeon.
But the monsters...
I've killed most of them. It's safe.
I'll find my way. I can run fast and I know the castle. Thank you.
Well, I guess I just spilled the secret passageway. Alistair approves. +2. Found a mushroom in a crate. She was definitely in a storage room. There's just crates and sacks in here. Alright. Back down to the right. Another corpse skull. I never looted these corpses. 3 more corpse skulls. I think I'm holding like 10 of the stuff now. This appears to be a dining room, maybe? There's tables with fruit and vegetables on them. Maybe this is the kitchen, or a kitchen. In one direction, there's the main hall, which I can't unlock. So that would be going out the other side of that room. In the other direction is another door with a bunch of corpses behind it. I can see from the mini-map. Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just decapitated a corpse.
Hopefully you do not find it You're getting sloppy. Too easy.
Corpse skull.
Let's get started.
1.5 silver. That one's a cheapskate. 2 silver. 2.5 silver. Corpse skull and frozen lightning, which I won't take. This is maybe a food storage room. There's a big fireplace, which is burning, and a bunch of meat hanging. Maybe this is like a meat curing. I don't know why you would do that in the castle. On the other side, we have a long storage room. Barrels and shelves. There's some fish on a table. Just out there. An elf root. Oh, and a stairs to another part of the basement. Alright. So we can't go into the main hall, which must be where we're headed. We have to go down into another part of the cellar first. Still cobwebby. Down here, still cobwebby. But no visible corpses. This is a very small part of the cellar, so we landed in like a small entry room, and there's another big room, and then the stairs up to the outside on the other part of that. So a very short area, but with a bunch of loot. We have a locked, nope, not locked, a chest with a love letter, a pair of steel bracers, which is a gift for anyone, and an ice salve, which I won't take. Love letter. My darling Reginald, I burn for you, and because of you. Please use the enclosed tincture if our love is to endure. Signed, Sari. Oh, Reginald. There's a locked chest, lesser injury kit, a vase with a green stone. Can't take that. And a pile of junk. Scale armor. Tier 3. I'll trash a scale armor tier 2 for that. Alright, and this set of stairs says we're going out to the courtyard. So this will actually take us outside. Loading screen says, weapons like maces and mauls do less damage than blades, but are particularly effective against heavy armor. This is true. In real life, also. Alright, we're in the courtyard now. We've come out of a side door. Oh, my game froze for a minute. Please don't crash. It did. All right. Hopefully it auto-saved somewhere in there. I don't think I manually saved since the windmill. Whoops. Oh, Skyrim for sure is buggier. Although it's sort of apples and oranges because this game is heavily modded. It's definitely way buggier without the mods. That was the EA BioWare splash screen. A dragon made out of blood. hopefully I get through this quick enough that Twitch doesn't mute me again for the main theme. Load game, where was I? Yes, autosave in the basement. God bless. I think it autosaves on every new area. Loading screen says, you traveled to the town of Redcliffe to seek out Arl Eamon, the late King Kaelin's uncle. You learned, whoops, that he was poisoned by an apostate mage, etc., etc. Okay. So we're in the tiny basement where we just were. Lesser injury kit.
This should be easy enough.
Greenstone that I won't take. Scale armor that I will take.
Right.
Love letter. That I know it says the same thing, so I won't read it again. And steel bracers. Now, let's head outside.
As you wish.
Alright, I'll look around a bit slower maybe? Actually, let me just quick save here. Yeah, I'm lucky at autosaves. I am not good enough with manual saving. Especially in games that do have autosaves. Alright, I see a landmark for my dog to mark. So he'll get his bonus, that's good. I see a barrel. Health poultice and ice salve. They're giving me a lot of ice salves. I don't know if this is foreshadowing or just convenient random loot. I see by highlighting interactables that Sir Perth and the knights are waiting outside the gate, which is currently closed. And I also see that there are a bunch of corpses on the other side of the courtyard. So basically, we all just have to run to the gate to unlock that before getting in deep, deep combat. Alright, everyone run over here. Morgan, hit the lever.
I shall do it.
And the rest of us will engage. There is I can't read the names. They're all clustered together. It's a revenant. That is a boss tier enemy.
Let's have at it!
Alright, the gate is open. Sir Perth is here with 3 others, I think. And the revenant has 4 corpse minions with it as well. The Revenant is an extremely tall humanoid monster wearing armor and a helmet, sort of a winged helmet, and has glowing red eyes and a sword and shield. I'm gonna see if I can backstab it. Alright, it is now being attacked literally on all sides by me, Alistair, Pebble, Sten, and 3 of the knights. It cannot be stunned. Oh boy, will we try. Oh gosh. I'm actually low on health for once.
Okay, done with you now.
One of the knights. Oh, was that Sir Perth that just went down? No. I hope that's just a KO and not a kill. There's also... Oh, there's some skeleton archers up on the... what's it called? A little walk around. Up by the main entrance. Hadn't noticed them before.
Performed as I expected. We work well together.
Oh good, Sir Perth did stand up. Whew, I thought I killed him. The Revenant, however, did not fall all the way down and is just sort of lying at an angle, hovering over the ground. And Sir Perth seems to be stuck in a battle cry animation.
You have opened the gates. That is good. My men and I are eager to see our Arl again. Shall we enter the main hall together? It must be held if we are to regain control of the castle.
He snapped out of it when I talked. I want to look around first. I haven't looted everything yet.
As you wish. We will hold the gate and watch for anyone attempting to leave. Let me know if the situation changes.
Thanks, man. We've got to loot this sideways Revenant. It had greater health poultice, greater spirit balm. I guess I'll make room for that since it's greater. I'll destroy a couple of swords. Since I'm sure I'll find something else good here. Oh, he's still stuck in that animation. Oh, no, he's good. Alright, there's a barrel with a lesser elixir of grounding, which increases electricity resistance. The landmarks are a thing that you can activate with your dog to basically give it dominance in that area. Which means that it has increased stats whenever it's fighting in that area. Sir Perth, why are you doing this animation again? He must have glitched out when he got KO'd. But when my dog is in a map where it has marked a landmark, it has +2 strength, +2 constitution, and +2 willpower. From scent marking it, I guess. It's home turf. Alright, Sir Perth, let's go in. None of the other corpses we killed had any loot.
What is the situation? Shall we go to the hall with you, or shall we wait here?
Yes, let's go to the hall together.
Excellent. Let us go now, then, and see what awaits us there.
Loading screen says there have been 4 blights in total. Never mind, we're here. Tegan is doing acrobatic tricks in front of the stage of the main hall. The child Connor is clapping and looking on in glee while Isolde looks distraught.
So these are our visitors? The ones you told me about, Mother?
Yes, Connor.
And this is the one who defeated my soldiers? The ones I sent to reclaim my village?
Yes.
And now it's staring at me. What is it, Mother? I can't see it well enough.
This is an elf, Connor. You've seen elves before? We have them here in the castle.
Oh, I remember. I had their ears cut off and fed to the dogs. The dogs chewed for hours. Shall I send it to the kennels, Mother?
Connor, I beg you. Don't hurt anyone.
Mother? What's happening? Where am I?
Oh, thank the Maker. Connor, can you hear me?
Get away from me, fool woman! You are beginning to bore me.
Maker's breath. What has happened here?
Grey Warden, please don't hurt my son. He is not responsible for what he does.
We're seeing this entire scene from diagonal, really off-tilt camera angles. Connor is a young boy about maybe 9 or 10 years old, with short red hair. What has he done with Ban Tegan?
Here I am. Here am I.
I like him better this way. No more yelling. Now he amuses me.
Connor didn't mean to do this. It was that mage, the one who poisoned Eamon. He started all this. He summoned this demon. Connor was just trying to help his father.
And made a deal with the demon to do so? Foolish child.
It was a fair deal. Father is alive, just as I wanted. Now it's my turn to sit on the throne and send out armies to conquer the world. Nobody tells me what to do anymore.
Nobody tells him what to do. Nobody! Ha 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 ha!
Quiet, Uncle! I warned you what would happen if you kept shouting, didn't I? Yes, I did. But let's keep things civil. This woman will have the audience she seeks. Tell us, woman, what have you come here for?
I need to see Arl Eamon.
So you're a concerned well-wisher. Why didn't you say that in the first place? All this sneaking around and killing is so unnecessary. But Father is so very ill. We really shouldn't disturb him. Isn't that right, Mother?
I don't think...
Of course you don't! Ever since you sent the knights away, you do nothing but deprive me of my fun. Frankly, it's getting dull. I crave excitement and action. This woman spoiled my sport by saving that stupid village. And now, she'll repay me.
He runs away. And we are to fight Tegan. Oof. We're to fight Tegan and his guards. 6 of them. I'm glad I brought the knights in with us. Not excited about killing Tegan, but what can you do? I shouldn't say kill. I should say fight. I'm almost positive that Tegan would not die here.
It's either you or me, and it's gonna be me. Head it, it's your time to
Alistair's just leveled up.
die.
Down you go!
Isolde is just cowering in the corner.
Hey, watch it!
I just chased a guard entirely around the banquet table. I don't know why he was running away.
Tegan!
Stay down!
Oh, Tegan! Are you alright?
I am better now, I think. My mind is my own again.
Blessed Andraste. I would never have forgiven myself had you died. Not after I brought you here. What a fool I am. Please. Connor's not responsible for this. There must be some way we can save him.
Well, I'm not about to kill a child.
Clearly the child is an abomination. There is only one way to stop it.
He's not always the demon you saw. Connor is still inside him, and sometimes he breaks through. Please, I just want to protect him.
Isn't that what started this? You hired the mage to teach Connor in secret, to protect him.
If they discovered Connor had magic, then they'd take him away. I thought if he learned just enough to hide it, then...
Where's Connor now? Why did he run?
I think he ran upstairs, to the family quarters.
Violence scares him. I know that sounds strange. He may have run up to his room, or...
Or he might be waiting in ambush?
I don't know. The fighting may have scared Connor into coming out again, and so he ran.
So you're saying he may be vulnerable?
Perhaps. Is there no other way?
What are our options?
I wouldn't normally suggest slaying a child, but he's an abomination. I'm not sure there's any choice.
No? What about the mage? He could know something of this demon. If he still lives, we could speak to him.
Demon book. I'm not sure what you're referring to. The mage is down in the dungeon, still alive.
Then we should bring him here immediately. I do not know how much we can trust him. But we must find out what he knows. Tegan, could you find him?
I will try. Though if he resists, I will not hesitate to kill him. I'll return shortly.
Alright, Tegan's fetching Jowan the mage.
You're lucky to be alive, John. After all you've done.
I didn't summon any demon, Lady Isolde. But I did poison the Arl, and that started all this. I'm willing to help if you'll let me. The demon in Connor needs to be destroyed. Killing Connor is the easiest way to do that, certainly. But there is another way. A mage could confront the demon in the Fade, without hurting Connor himself.
What do you mean? Is the demon not within Connor?
Not physically. The demon approached Connor in the Fade while he dreamt, and controls him from there. We can use the connection between them to find the demon.
You can enter the Fade, then? And kill the demon without hurting my boy?
No, but I can enable another mage to do so. It normally requires lyrium and several mages, but I have blood magic.
Wait, you think I'd allow you to cast a spell? Any spell?
Maybe not, but all I'm saying is that I can do this.
I don't understand. I know nothing of blood magic. But how is that an option?
Lyrium provides the power for the ritual, but I can take that power from someone's life energy. This ritual requires a lot of it, however. All of it, in fact.
So, someone must die? Someone must be sacrificed?
Yes, and then we send another mage into the Fade. I can't enter because I'm doing the ritual. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. It's not much of an option.
Not much of an option, indeed. Chaosbringer, there was a book on protection from demons or something. I think I know what you're talking about. I think that was a codex rather than a physical, like, item we have. I don't remember what it said, but yeah, we are not getting any help from that, unfortunately. It's not much of an option. Is there no other method?
The power has to come from somewhere, and that means either lyrium or blood.
Then let it be my blood. I will be the sacrifice.
What? Isolde, are you mad? Eamon would never allow this.
Either someone kills my son to destroy that thing inside him, or I give my life so my son can live. To me, the answer is clear.
Blood magic. How can more evil be of any help here? Two wrongs don't make a right.
It does seem like a sensible choice, with a willing participant.
Connor is blameless in this. He should not have to pay the price.
It's up to you, my friend. You know more about such things than I do, and it's your companion going into the Fade. The decision is yours.
Whew. Don't like this. What if I say I need time to consider?
Whatever you do, do it quickly. There's not much time before Connor does something else.
Alright. Quest updated. Everyone put your swords away. We're not in combat anymore. Sten, put your sword away. Thank you. I wonder if I can talk to folks about this.
What do you need?
No. No special dialogue. So Isolde wants to, or is willing to, I don't know if I want to say wants, is willing to be the sacrifice in a blood magic ritual. I don't know that I'm on board with that. I think Bryony is anti-blood magic enough that she is not going to condone that.
My son awaits your decision. Make it quickly.
This is the hard part, because I know that, like, technically, I mean, depending on your perspective, doing the ritual might be the more ethical option, but it's a very trolley problem type of situation. Forget the ritual. We fight the demon here.
Please, don't. It isn't his fault. He just tried to help his father. Why must he pay with his life?
Do not make this any harder than it is, Isolde. She has made her decision.
Who says she gets to decide?
Fair point.
I'm Connor's mother. I'm the Arlessa.
This is what must be done.
No! No! I won't let you do this. It isn't right. It isn't right.
It must be done. The cancer must be cut out.
Go and do this quickly. We must save Eamon and restore the castle. I will make Isolde understand.
Feels bad. But I got 4 approval from Sten, so he's on board. Alright, let me look at the map here. So, if we go, I'm just going to use cardinal directions now, because this, the layout of this floor of the castle is confusing. If we were to go north out of this room, we would get to the door that is locked, was locked from the other side and is still locked. So that's how we couldn't enter before. To the east is how we came in from the courtyard. And then to the west is the way that we haven't been yet. Part of the floor that we haven't seen. There's a room with a hall with 6 statues of armor lining it, and doorways on the right and left. Let me try left first. Oh, the suits of armor are coming alive.
I sense something drawing near.
This is bad.
On it.
I mean, it would be bad if we didn't also have Sir Perth's knights to come and fight us.
As you wish.
And then the knights just immediately walk away. Alright. Well, now I'll go on the left.
Let's get started.
Where there are the corpses of 4 individuals and the Chamberlain, who is not a corpse, a living man, but is also attacking us.
Here we go!
Let's have at it!
There is your weakness! Another battle line. Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
This must have been the Chamberlain's room, I guess. There's an unlockable cabinet, which has a small silver ring, which is a gift for anyone, and a spirit shard, elixir of grounding, another unlockable chest with a tier 4 battle axe and a tier 3 helmet. I'll take the battle axe, because that's good. Chamberlain has, Redcliffe vault key. This key is so heavy it could be used as a bludgeon. They don't make them like they used to. True that, my man. Shambling corpse. 250. 450 and a corpse gall.
Let's get started.
And a vanity that I looted for a large wooden round shield. Which drawer was that in? Was that the mirror? And a book on the geography of Ferelden. Alright. Let's see. To the right of this room is the stairs to the 2nd floor, and forward through it is... This must be a study? There's a desk with a book on it, and a bunch of bookshelves around. Maybe the Arl study. The desk has, Alistair's mother's amulet. I will have to give that to him at some point. I don't think we can, we can give it to him here. We're in the middle of all this. The book on the Orlesian Empire. Alright, let's head upstairs. Loading screen says, Sandal Fedek may not be the most eloquent of dwarves. Something about him being great with lyrium. That's true. He is great with lyrium. Alright, so upstairs we're now in a hallway that has 2 doors on either side and a bunch of suspiciously placed corpses on the floor, which I'm gonna guess are gonna wake up and ambush us the minute we walk past them. First door on the right is a bedroom. It has a vanity with an elixir of grounding and
Let's get
a
started.
bookshelf. A book on the Guerins of Ferelden, a genealogical history. That is for Wynne, who is a companion we don't have yet. So spoilers, I guess. First door on the left is standing open. Oh boy, here comes all the... Alright, now they're standing up. Lots of shambling corpses.
You had it coming!
You will not win!
Let's make this quick, shall we?
Alright. Only 1 is lootable. For 3 silver. Past that room. So that looks like sort of a sitting room, which has the vault off it, and past it is another hallway.
Let's get started.
Which I believe goes towards the Arl's, like, personal bedroom. So we'll actually have to backtrack a bit before we go on.
Harry, second kill! Watch it! You're on one! You're mine!
Let's make this quick!
I just accidentally talked to the dog. Hey, do you see anything interesting? He barks excitedly and runs off. But Pebble doesn't seem to have found anything. Okay. I forgot, I can ask the dog to go find things. And sometimes he does. So I should remember to do that more. Alright, what's in the Redcliffe vault? A very fancy rug on the floor. 2 weapon stands, an armor stand, and 3 chests. And me with no inventory space.
On it.
A silver-framed still life, which is a gift for Sten. A tier 3 crossbow. Let me see what I can toss. Well, I have 2 tier 3 longbows, so I guess I'll take the crossbow instead of one of those. I'll throw out a novice slow rune for the gift. I don't use slow runes. I haven't used runes yet at all this playthrough. Oh wow. One of these chests has an entire set of High Officials armor, which is tier 8. Plus a... Yeah, wow. Plus Eamon's personal shield. I wonder if I can come back to Redcliffe Castle and take that, because I think even if I took that now, I wouldn't be able to, like, I wouldn't have anyone who could use it. On the weapon stand, I see a tier 6 longbow, which is the Fox's bow, plus 2 dexterity, minus 0.2 seconds aim time, plus 2% ranged crit chance, plus 4 chance to avoid missile attacks, plus 10% critical damage. Very good. Plus some crossbow bolts. The other weapon stand has the Chevalier's mace. Chevalier. Also tier 6. I don't have any... Yeah, Alistair's been using a sword. I don't really have a mace user, but I'll go ahead and take this. And the armor stand here has a set of heavy plate armor tier 4. Not unique.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll have to come back to this room for that armor set at some point. I'm pretty sure I can come back here. Alright, so backtracking, there's another minor hallway. I think this is like guest quarters, this side hall.
As you
two corpses that we're all trying to fit in the door.
Less fighting, more dying, blast you!
This room has a chest in it.
Right.
Stone dragon statuette for Alistair. I'm just racking up the gifts for Alistair. Corpse skull. Corpse skull. And the last bedroom on the right.
Let's get started.
No corpses. Surprisingly corpse-free. Has a chest. Unlockable with 17 fire arrows. Can't take those. And a book, Codex on the Tranquil. Journal of the Tranquil. Actually, I could take the fire arrows. I already had some. So now, I'm backtracking and going back through that receiving room where the entrance to the vault was. Past that, into a hallway. Oh, this is grand. This has a couple of really big paintings in it. This is a painting sort of in sepia tones of a garden. This one's of the sky. This is also up an incline toward the... Yeah, I see Connor standing in the hallway. Let me quick save. Yeah, there's an autosave point there too. Alright, here I come, Connor.
Go away. She won't like you being here. She'll just try to hurt you.
Are you Connor? The real Connor?
I'm always me. But sometimes a scary lady takes over. I feel like I'm sleeping. Well, I guess I'm not. I tried to stop her, but I can't. She said she'd help Father. I didn't think she'd hurt everyone. Honestly, I didn't.
Do you know what she is, Connor?
She's a bad person. I heard her in my dreams, and then she was everywhere.
I want to stop her, but I don't want to hurt you.
But somebody has to stop her from hurting anyone else.
I guess I can tell him about the other way. There is another way.
I don't know how much longer she'll be gone for, but she's always watching. She won't let you near Father. She'll just come back again, and then... just tell everyone to stay away, especially Mother. I don't want her to see me like this.
Then I suppose I have no choice.
At least no one will be hurt anymore. And maybe Father can be helped. That's all I wanted. Just do it then.
I could try a persuasion check. I need you to help me, or I might not win.
I'll try. I don't know what to do, but I'll try.
I also don't know what that means. He's clutching at his face now, closing his eyes.
You'll never win! You'll never take him! He's mine!
Rapidly shifting back and forth between forms and eventually standing up as a feminine demon. A demon with a humanoid body, purple skin, purple flaming hair, and almost entirely nude. This is a desire demon that we are now in combat with. A boss tier enemy. Woohoo! I'm gonna use... I don't know what they're weak to. I'm gonna use a venom coating to try and hit her with some poison.
Try that again.
She just did an ability that she disappeared for a moment, but woke up 5 or 6 corpses around the room. The one I was fighting just ran away from me. Hey. Alright, now that we took them all down, where is she? There she is. So when she did that, she was down by about 1/5 of her health.
Desperation is an ugly person.
Ah, it just knocked me back. Ow.
Katana!
This time she disappears and is summoning 3 lesser rage demons. These are demons much less humanoid than her. They're basically like 7 feet tall salamanders. No, we're in the middle of the depressing boss battle. We are fighting the demon that was possessing the child Connor, which is a several stage boss battle. She keeps disappearing and summoning minions. But right now we're fighting 3 rage demons that she's summoned. They are tall, humanoid salamander type things. But like very vague in shape.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
And they're burning all of us. Alright, she's back. She's down to about 1/3 health.
No quarter.
And Sten got the killing blow, I think. She falls to the ground. And in death transforms back into the body of Connor.
Stop! Don't hurt him! Please, have mercy on him. He's just a boy. He doesn't deserve this.
Isolde is kneeling over Connor's body. Do you have another solution?
There must be another option. The Circle must know some spell, or we could bring him to the cathedral in Benelem. They could exorcise him. Make her help me. There must be some other way. Don't kill my baby. I'm begging you.
Yeah, subtitles are in all caps there. Yeesh. What about your husband? What if Arl Eamon dies?
Don't ask me to choose between them. I can't do that. You're a woman. What if this was your son? Tell me you wouldn't move the mountains to save him?
Please, don't make this harder than it is.
You're just like Tigan, standing there grim-faced and telling me my son has to die. It doesn't have to be like this. I order you to stop!
Ugh. Ah. I can choose to knock her out and then kill Connor. Or back down. Ah. I'm not gonna use blood magic. I'm not. Ah, I hate myself for this. I'm gonna knock her out. This needs to end now.
No. Please,
Just a punch to the jaw. And then I take not one of my daggers, but a 3rd knife out from the back of my belt. And fade to black. Then the 4 of us standing in a hallway as she enters.
What have you done?
I'm so sorry. You left me no choice.
It was just a boy. He did. I tried so hard to save him. And what am I left with? Nothing. I wonder just how long Eamon will survive, now that the demon cannot sustain him. Will I lose my whole family, do you think? Enough. I wish to mourn my son now. Give me that at least.
Whew. And loading screen. So that went poorly. There's really no good end to that quest. Unless you're in the camp where you considered sacrificing someone to save someone else. Good? Alright, we're seeing the Redcliffe docks. People are standing around mourning, including guards, including Sir Perth and Isolde. And Tegan and myself at the front. The funeral pyre for the dead from the series of attacks. Archers with flaming arrows firing out onto boats that have been sent out with the bodies of certain individuals, lighting the boats on fire. And loading screen again. Back in Redcliffe
So it is
Hall.
over. Connor is dead, and the demon gone with him. With its creatures, one I sought to protect is dead. There is a Grey Warden who goes by the name of Alistair.
My son.
Oh, that was
your
weird.
nephew is dead. Do not forget that in your great relief, Tegan.
How could I, my lady? Eamon has much to mourn if he recuperates. There is still the matter of Jowan. His poisoning Eamon began this whole mess, yet he lives. I must decide what becomes of him. We will hold him for Eamon to decide his fate. If he doesn't recover, Jowan's fate is sealed. What do you think?
Okay, that was really weird. Tegan, like, played a random voice line that wasn't even his. For a moment there. I didn't catch what it was, but, it certainly did not match the subtitles that I was reading. Why do you want my opinion?
You spoke with him, have you not? You know what he has done better than I do, even.
Would you find him useful?
I would not trust him, but I would not presume to tell my brother what to do.
Then I don't think it's your decision to make.
What do you mean? He is responsible for many of the problems here, and is a Maleficar as well.
Then this should be a matter for the king.
Perhaps you are correct.
Restore my husband.
Yes, Van Tegan. Not mine. I'm sorry. Jowan stays in the dungeon for now.
What happened again?
But our task is not done yet. Whatever the demon did to my brother, it seems to have spared his life, but he remains comatose. We cannot wake him.
The urn. The urn of sacred ashes will save Eamon.
There must be... I don't know if it's a mod. I mean, it must be a mod. I've played this sequence before. One of my mods must be breaking this scene badly. Whoops. The urn of sacred ashes will save Eamon. The urn is a legend. It might never be found.
That is a possibility. But there is a reason it's still an option. I am not simply grasping at straws.
My husband funded the research of a scholar in Deneram, a brother Genetivi. He has been studying the inscriptions on Andraste's birth rock. When Eamon fell ill, I sent the knights to speak to Genetivi. I hoped that he had finally discovered the location of the urn of sacred ashes itself. They were unable to locate Genetivi. In desperation, I sent more knights in search of the brother, or some clue of the urn's location.
Well, I have the Darkspawn to contend with.
Eamon is well respected and powerful. He can pull Ferelden together. If you wish to fight the Darkspawn, you will need him.
What will you be doing in the meantime?
I must organize Eamon's knights as they return, draft new soldiers, and prepare the army to fight. I shall hand Redcliffe back to Eamon when he awakens, and in a state where it can be of some use in the coming war. Truly, what other choice do I have?
I will see if I can find this relic.
No one else can. Even if I wish to do it myself, I cannot abandon Redcliffe to its own devices. Perhaps you could seek out the brother's home in Denerim and see if any clues remain on his whereabouts. It is the only place to begin the search, I think. I must go to the hall and begin rebuilding. I wish you luck, and may the Maker go with you.
Okay. Wow, I didn't lose any approvals. Sten approves, Morgan approves. +4 each. I was wrong. We're not in the hall. We're in Eamon's bedroom. So Tegan has left. Isolde is still here. Eamon is lying on the bed, non-interactable. There's a book I can read on his nightstand. Codex, The First Blight, Chapter 2. Lovely. Okay. So our main quest, well, this part of the main quest has updated. The demon has been vanquished and the village saved. However, Arl Eamon is still unconscious. Legend says that Andraste's ashes have miraculous powers and can cure the ill. The Redcliffe Knights were on a quest for this urn of sacred ashes, and you must finish what they have started. Arl Eamon must be revived. So I have a new quest category for the Urn of Sacred Ashes, which is really its own quest chain, as opposed to being part of this one. I can finally run back into the hall and loot the Desire Demon, who dropped a set of chainmail, which she certainly wasn't wearing. And there's a side room, which must be Connor's room, with a book about Aveline, Knight of Orlais. Okay, well, that's it for us in Redcliffe, I guess. There are guards and servants back in the halls. So it seems like the castle has returned to function, although some of the bones of skeletons that I killed are still there. I'm gonna head back to the main floor. I think my plan at this point is to tidy up loose ends here in Redcliffe, and then head to party camp, give out some gifts, do some dialogue catching up, and then call it for the night. Is there anything else I can say to Tegan?
You return. Might you have news?
Oh, no.
Then I must resume my duties. The civil war continues, and Loghain is no doubt angered Redcliffe has not been disabled. Good luck, my lady. You are a great and noble woman. I hope it continues to go well, for all our sakes.
Alright, so he's just there to report back to at the end. Then, I shall go out into the courtyard. Where we should be able to get directly back to Redcliffe Village by now. Now that the gate is open from this side. Yes, indeed. Well, specifically we can travel to the world map, which I think Redcliffe Castle and Village must be different entries. Yeah, they are. Different points on the world map. Are we gonna get a random encounter between here and there? We are. A cutscene. We're seeing the rooftops of Denerim.
I bring word, sire. There are demands from the Banon that you step down from the Regency. They are said to be gathering their forces, as are your allies. It appears it will be civil war after all, despite the Darkspawn. Pity. I also have an interesting report. There seem to be Grey Wardens who survived Ostagar. How, I don't know. But they will act against you. I have arranged for a solution, with your leave.
The Antivan Crows send their regards. An assassin?
Against Grey Wardens, we will need the very best, sire.
And the most expensive.
Just get it done.
Wasn't sure where I was going to be able to speak there. So that was Logain. Getting a report from a man. I don't know if he's been identified by face yet, but that was Arl Howe, who is a gray-haired, middle-aged man with a really mean face. Just an absolute bastard. And so he was the one reporting in. And then he brought in a brown-skinned, blonde-haired elf who we will meet eventually. I don't think we know his name, but he is a member of the Antivan Crows, which is a famous assassin order, who is being sent to kill us. So that's good. We are back at the top entrance of Redcliffe Village. They're gonna make me run down all the way. I really just need to report into the blacksmith.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Or we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
The dog chimed in there at the end. Alright. Oh, Redcliffe has really reverted back to normal town status. It now has a chantry board and a Blackstone Irregulars post for us to grab side quests from. Let's head into Owen's blacksmith shop first. There he is. There's Velena.
My Velena returned. She told me of your daring rescue. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am. Take this. A reward for your deed. It's dwarven made and should serve you well.
Thank you. I was glad to help.
Thank you again. I'm forever in your debt.
I have gained a set of dwarven armor, which is cool. Don't have any dwarves, but I believe it fits anyone, which is mysterious. And Owen's remaster work, a tier 4 leather helmet, which is cool. I actually will wear that myself. I'm currently wearing a tier 2. Velena.
Thank you, my lady. I'd never have been able to return to my father if it wasn't for you.
Okay, just that. Owen, do you have a shop?
You're welcome here, friend. What can I do for you?
Let's talk business.
You're welcome to whatever I have, obviously. I'm at your service.
Let me sell some things to you. Let me sell you a bunch of things. Mostly selling off armor that's either mismatched or too low of a tier for me to be using anymore. There, cleared up about 10 inventory slots. That'll serve me for a little bit. And I'm gonna go grab side quests from the Blackstone box. Grease the wheels. Make a trip to Denerim and pass on our appreciation to certain individuals. Okay. Well, we won't be at Denrim for a while. An enchanter's board. Oh, there's 4 things here. Caravan down. Rescue or determine the status of a border caravan. Brothers and sons. Find the loved ones of some people. I guess find the remains of some people in the south. Skin deep. Gather samples from creatures. Oh, that's what we're gathering the corpse whatever's for. Desperate Haven. A group of refugees fleeing the Darkspawn that need an escort. Okay. So I've accepted all of those, so those should appear on my world map. And in the places where they are, but I don't think we need to deal with any of them yet. And in fact, I'm gonna go straight to the world map and go to party camp. Because I don't actually have to run out the door, so to speak, of Redcliffe to go to the world map, which is good.
Now that we're back at the camp, I want to talk about what happened at Redcliffe.
Oh, you were there. You saw what happened.
Yes, I know. I've had some time to think about it now. You killed Connor. You killed him. A little boy. How could you do that?
Are you saying I should have used blood magic? You?
I don't know. Maybe. It was Lady Isolde's fault what happened at the castle. With all that blood on her hands, maybe you should have let her sacrifice herself. This is the Arl's son we're talking about here. What do you think he'll say when we revive him?
Maybe you're right. I don't know.
I just don't know how you could do it, how you could make that decision. I owe the Arl more than this.
Alright, there's a cunning check, so this is about you and him, and not me at all. Or there's a persuasion check. I honestly did the best I could. Or various takes on, I had to do what I had to do. I'll take the cunning check. So this is about you and him, and not me at all.
No! Well, maybe. I don't know. I suppose it's done, isn't it? And it'll have to be enough. Oh, why am I getting on your back about it? You did what you had to. It's just... all this death. Never mind. Let's just stop there before I do more than shove my foot in my mouth like an idiot.
Alistair disapproves. -7. Yeah, no ending to that quest was gonna go over well. Let's see if he has anything else to say.
What do you need?
Nope. I do have something for him, though. Let me go to my inventory. Other. Alistair's mother's amulet.
Is that for... this? This is my mother's amulet. It has to be. But why isn't it broken? Where did you find it?
This is your mother's amulet. Are you sure?
I suppose there might have been other amulets like these made. But I've never seen any others. It looks very old.
I found it in Redcliffe Castle, in the study.
Oh, the Arl's study? Then he must have found the amulet after I threw it at the wall. And he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand. Why would he do that?
Maybe he meant to give it back to you.
Maybe he did. He might even have brought it with him one of those times he came to see me at the monastery. Not that I would have given him a chance, as belligerent as I was to him. Thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from his... when he recovers, that is. I wish I'd had this a long time ago. Did you remember me mentioning it? Wow. Huh. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about things.
Sorry? Did you say something?
Ho, ho, ho. See this gesture I'm making? Can you hear that?
+9 approval. So we're back. We're back. What's his approval at right now? +20. Still in the neutral range. Alright. Let's see. What other gifts am I holding? Well, I'm holding a lot of gifts. I have a plot thing for Liliana. I have a couple of vague things for Alistair. Only gifts that are labeled plot by this mod that I have will actually result in a cutscene. The one for Liliana is a flower named Andraste's Grace, but I'm not going to give it to her because I haven't actually heard her talk about it yet. So in character, I shouldn't know. But I will go talk to her.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condescending? How so?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
I think I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the Chantry.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
Okay. +2 approval. Let us go talk to Sten. He has his own little tent set off from the fire a bit.
Yes.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
And what was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
Sorry, what's an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
Why does he care about the Blight?
Why do you?
I'm a Grey Warden. It's my job.
Exactly. You don't ask, nor do I. The Arishok sends me and I go.
And did you find the answer to his question?
A portion of it.
What was that answer?
Were you not at Ostagar when the army was overwhelmed? That is your answer.
So don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
Well, I can see you're right on top of that.
I cannot go home.
Oh, why not?
It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
Alright, let's go.
As you wish.
+4 approval. Sten... I swear, he gets approval in the weirdest places. I don't know what in there I said. Maybe the bit about it being my job? Alright, let's talk to Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Korkari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
Well, it seems the least pointless of the ones I had. You could if you wanted to.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked? If I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
But you kept going back to the wilds.
Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring. That does sound like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Touching, like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Well, you can go back if you like.
I have no qualm with the mission I have been set to. Flemeth was correct, like it or not. The Darkspawn are an enemy of all. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Morgan approves, +2. Alright, where am I at? So, Alistair is at +20, neutral. Morgan, is at -5, neutral. I've done a lot of charitable things with her around. Sten is at +14, neutral. The dog is at +100. He loves me. I love him. And Liliana is at +6. Let me give out a few random gifts. I can give a couple of things to my dog. I can give him a lamb bone and a beef bone. Here you go, bud. I can give to Liliana, I can give a bronze symbol of Andraste.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say.
+10 approval. That was her sort of speaking from the inventory screen, not a cutscene. To Alistair, his approval's pretty high. I don't need to give him anything. To Morgan, I will give a golden necklace.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
+10, so she's now at +5. And to Sten, I can give a silver-framed still life. This painting is framed in silver and depicts 32 identical Orlesian porcelain tureens. I think that's a type of, like, teapot.
I am impressed. My thanks.
He's at +24. He's actually the highest now. And now that we're back at camp for real, I have a mod that installs a storage chest. Actually, a storage chest, an armor stand, a weapon rack, and a wine rack. All of which function as generic storage over on the side of the camp. So I can actually store things.
On it.
Each of these has a default item in them already. Why does this have a tier 7 sword in it? My goodness. There's also an upgrade stand where I can... Some of the items in this game are levelable, especially the default things like default leather armor, default scale armor. You can upgrade them to different tiers. So I may eventually do that. For now, I'm going to store on the armor stand some stuff I'm not using. A bunch of mage outfits that I don't have a use for, as well as high tier DLC items.
As you wish.
On the weapon rack, again, I'll put some high tier stuff. Ah, look at that, a nice tidy inventory. We're down to 63 out of 100 capacity. And, oh, let me go talk to my dog. I haven't done that. That's important.
I once heard a really old legend about how the hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished.
The dog sort of cocks his head.
That's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh.
The dog gags.
Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
The dog sort of whines and backs away. Don't listen to Alistair. He's full of rubbish.
Hey!
End of scene. Okay. Alright. I think that's all I want to do in camp. I'm gonna go stand by the fire and read some codexes. Let's see. We have some new creatures. Corpse. Desire Demon. This one I'll read, actually. In all my studies, I must say that the most intriguing was my interview with the Desire Demon. That the creature was willing to speak with me was a sign that this was no mere monster, mindlessly driven by its nature, but rather a rational being as interested in me as I was in it. It took a form that I would call female, though I had no doubt that it could appear otherwise. I wonder if it appeared as it did because I wanted it to, or because I expected it to. She, and indeed I can only think of her as such now, smiled warmly at me and laughed, a musical sound that seemed to thrill my old heart. So frightened was I of this creature's legendary abilities to twist the hearts of men, and so relieved was I when I looked across the table into her dark eyes. This was a fearsome creature of the Fade, but as I spoke with her, I slowly came to realize that this demon was merely as misunderstood as we mages are ourselves. From the journal of former senior enchanter Malleus, once of the Circle of Ravane, declared apostate in 920 Dragon. That's not long ago. This is the Dragon Age. Every century has its own name, so that's recent. And then the second half, of all the threats from beyond the veil, few are more insidious and deceptively deadly than the Desire Demon. In folklore, such demons are characterized as peddlers of lust, luring their prey into a sexual encounter, only to be slain at the culmination. While a Desire Demon can indeed deal in pleasure, in truth they deal with any manner of desire that humans can possess, wealth, power, and beauty, to name a few. Far more intelligent than the bestial hunger and rage demons, and more ambitious than the demons of sloth, these dark spirits are among the most skilled at tempting mages into possession. Many who serve the whims of a Desire Demon never realize it. They are manipulated by illusions and deceit, if not outright mind control, although these demons are reluctant to resort to such crude measures. Instead, they seem to take great pleasure in corruption. The greater the deceit, the greater their victory. Only demons of pride prove more fearsome opponents when roused. Their abilities to affect the mind allow them to assume disguises and even alter the environment to their purposes, not to mention the great strength and speed they possess if they should have to resort to more physical means. Most often, a Desire Demon will attempt to bargain its way to freedom if overpowered. Many stories exist that depict mages defeating Desire Demons to the point where a wish can be wrested from them. It should be noted that in such stories, the demon almost always gets the upper hand, even when the mage thinks their wish has been granted. We also have a codex on the Rage Demon. This is much shorter. Encountered in the Fade, the true form of a rage demon is a frightening sight. A thing of pure fire, its body seemingly made of amorphous lava, and its eyes 2 pinpricks of baleful light radiating from its core. The abilities of such a demon center on the fire it generates. It burns those who come near, and the most powerful of its kind are able to lash out with bolts of fire and even firestorms that can affect entire areas. Fortunately, even powerful rage demons are less intelligent than other varieties. Their tactics are simple: attack an enemy on sight with as much force as possible until it perishes. Some rage demons carry over their heat-based abilities into possessed hosts, but otherwise the true form is mostly seen outside of the Fade. But otherwise, the true form is mostly seen outside of the Fade when it's specifically summoned by a mage to do his bidding. And then the Revenant, which was the mini-boss we fought in the courtyard. An entire unit of men, all slain by one creature. I didn't believe it at first, your perfection, but it appears that this is so. We have a survivor, and while at first I thought his rantings pure exaggeration, it appears to be no simple skeleton. The descriptions of the creature's abilities were eerily similar to those our brothers at Marnus Pell encountered almost a century ago. Men pulled through the air to skewer themselves on the creature's blade, an attack so quick that it was able to assault multiple opponents at once. No, your perfection, what we have here is indeed a revenant and nothing less. From a letter to Divine Amara III in the year 571 Exalted. A revenant is a corpse possessed by a demon of pride or of desire, making it amongst the most powerful possessed opponents that one can face. Many possess spells, but most are armed and armored and prefer the use of their martial talents. They are weak against physical attacks, but regenerate quickly, and commonly use telekinesis to pull opponents into melee range should they try to flee. Revenants also have the ability to strike multiple opponents surrounding them, stay at range if possible, and strike quickly. That is the only way to take such a creature down. No attribution, which means that's just written by the game for us. Let me see. I don't want to spend a ton of time just reading. I'm gonna see what else we have. We have a note. Oh, that's the love letter. Books and songs. We haven't read the Ballad of Aisley. This is a poem. Or a song, depending on how you read it. The wind that stirs their shallow graves carries their song across the sands. Heed our words, hear our cry. The grey are sworn, in peace we lie. Heed our words, hear our cry. Our names recalled, we cannot die. When darkness comes and swallows light, heed our words, and we shall rise. From the Ballad of Aisley, said to have been written after the Battle of Aisley, which ended the Fourth Blight in the year 520 Exalted. That was the last Blight, over 400 years ago. So that, I guess that must be an excerpt. I wish they had posted the whole thing. Of course, that means some poor game writer would have had to write the whole thing. Let's see, we have the Legend of Calenhad. Oh, that's long. Calenhad, the first legendary king of Ferelden. We have the History of the Chantry, chapters 1 and 2. Those are probably long. The First Blight, chapter 1 and 2. Journal of the Tranquil. Let me look at that. Oh, this is long. All of these are long! I want to spend time reading things, but not like that. Alright, let me look at characters. We have Queen Anora. Quote, "We have been given the gift of freedom by our forebears. Let us not squander it." The only child of the war hero, Loghain MacTyr, Anora has never been one to stay quietly in the background. It is common knowledge that in the 5 years Anora and Kaelin held the throne together, she was the one wielding the power. She is held in much higher esteem than her husband by the people of Ferelden, nobility and commoners alike, and commands the respect even of foreign nations, having once inspired Empress Celine of Orlais to declare, "Anora of Ferelden is a solitary rose among brambles." That is the surviving queen of King Kaelin. His entry I believe we've read before, it has a line added at the end. He fell in battle alongside Duncan at Ostagar. Duncan's entry, yeah, also has an update at the end. He was killed in battle against overwhelming numbers of Darkspawn at Ostagar, alongside King Kaelin. We have an entry for somebody we haven't encountered yet, Sir Cothrian, who is... Oh, I guess that's Logain's general. We've seen her in a cutscene. We'll look back at that again when we see her. We have an entry for Arl Eamon and for Isolde and for Connor. For Connor, quote, I feel like I'm sleeping, but I guess I'm not. Oh, I don't want to read this. This is going to be sad. Basically, this is all that we already know. Arl Eamon, quote, nobility does not exist without obligation. We owe all we have, even our lives, to our land and our people. As the maternal uncle of King Kaelin, Arl Eamon is one of the king's most, is one of the king's most trusted advisors. Redcliffe, while not a large or especially wealthy part of Ferelden, is a critical strategic location. The fortress guards the western pass that leads to Orlais, as well as the major trade route with Orzammar. A well-respected man, though not the most charismatic, King Kaelin once said of him, my Uncle Eamon is a man everyone thinks well of, when they remember to think of him at all. Oh, goodness. I guess that's an endorsement. He fell ill with a mysterious condition that even magic could not treat. And Arlessa Isolde, quote, for the one who delivers the sacred ashes of Our Lady will have the esteem of Redcliffe and all the riches it is in my power to grant. The Arling of Redcliffe was a source of constant trouble for Emperor Reville, Reville, during the occupation. It was rumored that since each new report sent the Emperor into a fit of violent rage, his court had taken to poisoning messengers before they could deliver their accounts. Isolde's family was the 10th to be given the difficult task of governing Redcliffe, and since most of the previous Arls had been either murdered by their bands or beheaded by the Emperor, they did not approach the job with a great deal of enthusiasm. Isolde met Eamon, not realizing he was the rightful heir to her father's domain, and quickly became smitten with him for being part of the resistance. Never mind that it was her family he was resisting. Perhaps a bit too romantic for her own good, she insisted upon staying behind with Eamon when the rest of her family was driven out. When her only son began to show signs of possessing magic, Isolde tried to cover it up, knowing that if he would be taken from her by the Circle, if found out. She hired an apostate mage to tutor him in secret, little knowing that her tutor was being paid to poison her husband. Eamon fell ill, and Connor desperately tried to use magic to save his father, magic that attracted the attention of a demon. Unable to stop the demon, Connor was slain by Bryony. Thanks, game, for calling me out constantly. Alright, that's all I want to read right now. Maybe tomorrow we can spend a little more time interspersed looking at some more entries. I believe all of this is also enumerated on the Dragon Age Wikia, or I guess fandom is what they're called now. But I believe people have made the effort to transcribe all of the codexes. So if anyone's interested in anything that I haven't read, they should be available online. If not, I'll read them tomorrow. Yeah, so we are back at camp. We have finished with Redcliffe for now. We have had some rocky opinions from our companions, but we're learning more about them. I'd like to say that we're becoming friends. And we have yet another quest to hunt for the ashes of the prophetess Andraste to cure Eamon of whatever magical disease he has. So it goes. And that will be it for tonight. As always, you can find me at CEL10E on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, mainly, although I have claimed that username pretty much anywhere, so if you see one, it's me. I shouldn't say that. That's just asking for trouble. Anyways, the the archives of these streams are up on YouTube from last weekend, and this weekend's will go up when I have time. I also have my Return of the Obra Dinn series on YouTube, the first 3 parts, as well as a bunch of Crusader Kings videos. And yeah, so tomorrow night at 9 will be the next stream of Dragon Age, and then tomorrow night I should be posting my schedule for the week as well, once I have it determined. So, I think that's it for now. Let me go ahead and save before I completely forget to do that. And yeah, have a good night.